All right. Now, guys, if you are still chart challenged, and I won't name any names, we've had private conversations. You really need to learn this and take some time out to study. You know, there's a season to sow and a season to reap, and you can never do both in the same season. Let that sink in. This is not something you're going to learn on the fly. When things heat up, you need to know. And now things are relatively quiet, and it's difficult, I know, but the Marines, they say in battle that people will revert back to their highest level of training when the bullets are flying, and that's kind of a suitable analogy. If you don't remember what the bull market's like, it's like everything's flying at once, up and down, and you need to kind of fall back on these things and just, have that skill. I mentioned it yesterday, and by the way, again, we're doing Crypto Mastery the first Tuesday of every month. I'm doing it once a month, mostly because you guys are the only ones showing up, and it was repetitive. But there's four kind of stages of training and learning. You have the unconsciously incompetent. Many you may have heard this. I hate hearing it over and over again at these seminars, but it's worth repeating. Unconsciously incompetent. You don't know what you don't know, and then you move into conscious incompetency. So you're aware, like, I don't know what I'm doing, and that's also dangerous. And then you have the sort of conscious unconscious competence where I knew I'd get it wrong. You have conscious competence, so you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing mostly, right? Here's my notes, and when this happens, I have bullish engulfing candle. Okay, check, right? That's the trade success checklist. That's to get you there to there. And then the fourth stage is unconscious competence, where you're just like, you just get it. You just see the chart, and you're like, okay, trend channel, bullish engulfing candle, ERITSI signal, and RSI, boom, and we're breaking out of a trend channel or resistance above the 21 to 50 day EMA. You're doing all this in your head without even verbalizing it. That's where you want to be when this bull takes off, if it does. There's a non-zero chance that the top is in, and I don't think so. Nobody thinks so, but that's always how it is. Nobody thought so last cycle. We were out. Everyone, well, and remember, it scared me. Everyone was complacent and sort of cavalier about. Oh yeah, well, when Bitcoin hits 100,000, Mike I was, we'd done all the math. We're like, okay, so 100,000. Once we get past, it's just everybody assumed that. Guys, that's so dangerous. And the problem is right now is that many of us have given back a lot of gains, myself included, and we're riding it out, and we're all hoping. And the thing is, many people are saying, as soon as he gets back, I'm out. That's what these big red boxes are. They are people ready to abandon ship. This is what worries me. We're below the ice on the 21 and 50. These have crossed below, but now this is not uncommon in a final shakeout. Where am I going with this? TLDR is, I think we do break higher, we take out these, and it's going to zigzag a bit. We break to new highs. Um, I don't know that we'll get to 150K. Some say that this stage in the 4-year cycle, this is where Bitcoin doubles in 6 weeks. I don't know. I don't know. If this truly is the bottom, we'll do a Fibonacci on it and just kind of see. And that's the golden pocket, which is sort of that first target for a bounce. That puts us at around 97K, 98K. This is going to have trouble. It's not going to go slice right through it. So if we can break up, I swear these tools, they used to be great, but it doesn't, anyway, I've whined about that enough. So here, trend channel, probably retrace up here, sell off. We need to retest that channel breakout, and then we'll go here, and then here, and then there, and then there, and then it's not going to be easy, you guys. What we are going to be looking for, and as soon as we can, all we need are 2 data points, is hopefully, let's just kind of draw some, so again, to borrow Ben Cowan's term, some dubious speculation here. Let's say that we go in we figure out we have 2 data points, maybe up, down, and then we draw this out. So this could be here, could be here, could be wherever. But let's say once we know where the new trend channel is, we can swing trade that. Up, down for a few times. Where I'm going with all this, though, going to be really careful and ready to start selling stuff, especially in the upper edge of the trend channels. And if we get new daily sell zones up here, but I'm not. I will be out at 145K. 150, I might hold a little bit, sell some there, but I still think we have another correction into the summer, and let's say we have this big kind of push up, we could still easily do this into the summertime, and then, but then we can still go to that 200K target. I'm really trying very hard not to have confirmation bias and stick to that. I have no idea, but we'll take it one day at a time. Point is, as we get closer to 150K, I would be, selling out, taking profits off the table. And that's a big if. I have an alert set to, we must be right at 89.5 because it keeps popping up over and over again. Any questions, you guys? I don't see any, let's see. Sometimes it doesn't alert me to when you have questions, so I'll pull it up. Okay, no, good. I don't see any. All right. So that's the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly. I don't want to be too repetitive. We've covered this a number of times. That is what we're working with, and that's all we can work with. So basically, be ready to. It's my phone ringing in the background. Sorry, it's always when I'm teaching class. It's some numbnuts starts calling me, and it's usually a telemarketer. And I wish somebody would invent a way to add their number to a spam list so they get called 20 times a day. If you guys know of any of those, let me know. That's why when I fill out forums, I usually don't give my real number. All right, so basically, this is what we're waiting for, up, down, and we'll be seeing how it plays out with the rest of the altcoins. I think we've covered this enough. And let me just jump over to the IBIT though. Looking there though, the gaps on the IBIT are playing out again. So this is these are acting as a magnet. So if you haven't heard me say this, if you're familiar with gaps filling on the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, well, the iShares, the BlackRock iShares Trust is on the CME as well. The gaps happen after hours when the stock market's closed. That's when the big ETFs are not buying, selling, or over the weekend. And if there's a change in price during those off hours, they have to reprice, and you see by these gaps. Now, what's interesting is they tend to usually fill. It's further proof we're in a simulation here. As soon as I said, and I knew this was going to happen, as soon as I said, hey guys, these gaps have 100% filled all the way back since the starting point, and ironically, some other people are starting to notice that and talk about that, which I posted. But anyway, and then they stopped working consistently, which is fine. They just have to work a majority of the time. There's still a big gap here, by the way, there, and in the bear market will probably fill that. But let's not focus on that right now. As of late, and in this year, each of these gaps has filled. It's just a clue we can fall back on as an additional maybe indicator. So we saw that gap down here, drop, had a few gaps in here, had this gap filled, and then we gapped up largely exactly to fill this one, and then we dumped. I don't know the exact mechanism. I think it has something to do with the CME using unrealized losses, and they just kind of carry it on the books until later, and then they kind of erase those losses when the gaps fill. They can kind of hold paper losses for indefinitely. So and since they're the house doesn't like to lose. Something along that lines. Maybe I'm wrong, but empirically it sure seems like that. Doesn't really matter though. So when we have gaps on the IBIT, it does act as a magnet to price. So not to review, go back, but this is interesting. We want to keep an eye on this more. So back here we had a gap. We popped up here and filled it on the downside, and then we gapped below, and then this candle kind of filled both of these. So where we are now, we're kind of, all right, now things are normal. And we've got overhead supply up above. This is, we've got some kind of catalyst to take those things out. Now, Friday, remember, we've got this crypto summit or whatever they call it on Friday. And probably, I would expect another buy the rumor, sell the news. There's some economic data coming out, and somebody was Diogenes was mentioning that. So we'll see what happens. But if we push up and take out this sell block, that would be great. and then toward Friday, the meeting happens, and if there are some speculations about they are not to go in a rabbit hole, but we should know this and be aware that the other three US based cryptos are also maybe laying the foundation for the CBDCs. Yeah, and I didn't know this either. Cardano essentially has that kind of tracking and social tracking for kids and children. I don't know why that hasn't gone public, and that's only a hop, skip, and a jump to where we're having to do it. Also, XRP has that sort of capability, and that's why XRP is kind of not one of our favorites. There's a number of reasons, but and then of course there's my damn phone ringing again. If that goes off again, I'm throwing it out the window. And so basically, be aware of that, and we'll keep an eye on that meeting coming in on Friday, and then see if we don't see a sell-off. It would make sense. We push up here, buy the rumor, and then sell the news. Okay, so that's enough about that.